Hey everybody, welcome back to Impact. My name is Toonboy, and welcome to Before the Impact show after No Surrender. Let's get into the pre-show straight away. In a decent pre-show match, Lorenzo Kid defeated Caleb with a KO in 7:44 by pinfall, and he got a 45. Kid 49, Caleb with a 36. That's good for that. In a pre-show bout that didn't have much heat and terrible wrestling, Chelsea Green defeated Lady Frost in 8:24 by pinfall with the Van Prettier. 31 overall. Chelsea with a 34 and Lady Frost with a 23, and they just didn't click at all. And in a decent pre-show match, Morrissey defeated Willie Mack 8:24 with the East River Crossing. Willie Mack 47, Morrissey with a 40, and it got a 46 overall. So we start the show, of course, with the recap and opening video package as always. This got a 67, and of course, all just showing you what happened at No Surrender, and of course the opening to the show. And then Jay White is with the Bullet Club, and he is talking about his win over Rich Swann at No Surrender. Jay White says it is just the beginning for the Bullet Club here in Impact. It is time we start taking over, and that will be just too sweet. 61 rated segment for that one. In a bout that had terrible wrestling and non-existing crowd heat, Paul Goodluck defeated Norway in 5:53 by pinfall with the tantrum cutter, followed by interference by Johnny E. Bravo. Norway with a 36. Goodluck, of course, is one of our people we signed who just joined the wrestling world. He's only got a 6. But why did Johnny E. Bravo get involved? Well, he grabs a mic and says that his new client will be Paul Goodluck's, and he will take him under his wing going forward. We need to try and push Goodluck's on, try and get him onto the next level. Johnny Bravo will be the one to do that. 32 overall, and we'll start with the Norway versus Paul storyline. In a decent match, for your main event, Matt Cardona defeated Jordan Grace and Joe Doran in 8:08 when Cardona pinned Grace with the Rough Rider. Cardona with a 48, Grace with a 44, and Doran with a 38. There were some underhanded tactics by Cardona in the match, hinting at a heel turn, and at the end, after the match, he continues the beatdown on both competitors, as the crowd sort of like a little bit stunned. And as you can see, Cardona foreshadowed a heel turn during this segment, and it got a 40 overall. So a 48 for Before the Impact, one of like a bit of an average rating show. But as I say, we're now going to head to Impact to see what the fallout from No Surrender will be. So join us for that. Okay, we are here for Impact Wrestling from the 366 people at the Highlands News Sun Centre. We start off with the recap, and the opening package gives us a 70 overall. And that is a good start. Into Bryan Alvarez's office, he's talking to Scott D'Amore and David Boy Smith. He says, tonight we are going to have 2 triple threat matches, one for the women, one for the men. In the men's, it's going to be Davey Boy Smith, Moose, and a lucky competitor who will get the opportunity to maybe become the #1 contender. And Scott D'Amore's like looking at him, kind of thinking, I wonder who that could be. But we will find out in the main event. Got us a 30. 51 in a bout that had great heat and good wrestling. Jay White defeated Josh Alexander in 7:56 by pinfall with the Blade Runner following interference by Morrissey. That got a 51 overall, 52 for Josh White, 65 for Jay White. After the match, the Bullet Club are beating up Alexander until Rich Swann comes down to make the save. And then that's got us a 48. Rich Swann still not finished with the Bullet Club despite his loss at the pay-per-view. In a freestyle segment, ODB is now in the ring and she says, I've never been booked since Bryan Alvarez come here. I have not even been on the show. So you know what? I am in the ring and I will take on anyone. Anyone from the Knockouts division, bring your ass to this ring and let's do it. The lights go out. The lights come back on. And Mika Otto makes her entrance to a 39. She comes down and obviously does the singing, a singing gimmick. But Mika Otto, it's going to take me a while to get used to this, comes to the ring and, well, in 7:43, she wins with the Ito special, 48 for Ito and 33 for ODB, 46 overall. In a decent match, Donna Purrazzo defeated Mercedes Martinez and Chelsea Green in 8 minutes 10 when Purrazzo pinned Martinez. Purrazzo carried the match and she's now the new #1 contender to the Knockouts title. Purrazzo got a 51, 42 for Mercedes and 36 for Chelsea Green, 42 overall. Backstage, Trey Miguel, the X Division champion, is walking backstage when Ace Austin attacks from behind for a 41. Austin's still not happy that he's lost 2 #1 contendership matches and takes his frustration out on the X Division champion. And in a decent match, Beer Guns defeat Finjuice and Bullet Club in 7:44 when Chris Sabin pins Chris Bay with the cradle shock following interference by Rich Swann, 44. And it does mean that Beer Guns are the new #1 contenders for the Good Brothers tag team titles. A quick rundown of the scores: 49 for Storm, 50 for Sabin, 46 for Finley, 51 for Robinson, 49 for Bay, and 43 for Morrissey. You have to think, change of scenery for the tag division now. Of course, Finjuice were sort of just couldn't get the job done. Now it's time for Beer Guns to see if it's their turn. Can they take the titles off the Good Brothers? We'll find out in the coming weeks. And in a freestyle segment, Jay White is in the ring. He's shouting at Rich Swann and says next week it'll be Alexander and Swann and against 2 of the Bullet Club, and they are marked men. The Bullet Club not happy, but this got us a 64, so I'm happy. And for 41, the Inspiration, the Knockout Tag Team Champions, are there talking about the Decay and how they beat the Decay, how easy it was, and that the Decay are now at the back of the line as they now look forward, not backwards. We will find out in the coming weeks who will be the new challengers for the Inspiration. And in a bout that had great wrestling and good heat, Johnny Gargano defeated Eric Young in 8:17 by submission with a crossed-in crab. Johnny Gargano 68, Eric Young 49, and it's got a 55 overall. And in a freestyle segment, Matt Cardona comes out. Of course, before the Impact, he decided to beat everybody up after the match after he won. He comes out and he says he just doesn't know why he cares about the fans. It's all about him and what he's going to do here in Impact. A shocked crowd start booing because Cardona was fan favorite. Now all of a sudden he's saying it's all about him. He doesn't care about anyone else. And he says he's going to do damage to Impact, 45 overall. Yep, and that is a turn for that. In a decent match. Oh, I didn't do the change. I'll do it next time. In a decent match, Moose defeated Davey Boy Smith and Larry D. It was Larry D who got the opportunity. We haven't seen much of Larry D in Impact. In 7:44, when Moose pinned Larry D with the lights out, Davey Boy Smith was told not to touch Moose. So really, it was a 2-on-1 handicap match. In terms of in-ring work, Moose was head and shoulders above everyone else. Larry D was a weak link, obviously struggling to keep up everyone else. This got us a 45. Moose with a 60. Davey Boy 47. Larry D with a 30. And Bryan Alvarez has done it again, hasn't he? He's trying to pull the wool from everyone's eyes and he's now Moose's #1 contender again. He will get another chance at that Impact World title held by Kevin Steen. And 69, nice. segment, freestyle segment. Of course, Bryan Alvarez comes out. Him and Moose are happy in the ring. He's obviously holding Moose's hand up. And Davey Boy Smith, though, is not happy in the background. Again, used as the muscle, didn't get his opportunity. So he's not as happy as the other two. You can see the bit of not a smirk, but a sort of a grimace coming across him. He's like, ugh. But it's a 69, and that is the end of the show. And it's a 53 overall. This show increased our popularity in 39 regions. Well, at least we've got increased popularity. That's a good thing. New signing is, Mika. I can't say the bloody name you now, but I'm like with these names. Mika Otto. I'm going to say Otto. I will try and find out how to say it. Believe me, I'm not very good at saying the English names, to be honest. That's it. We're done. Thanks very much for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Leave a like and a comment if you're liking the series. And we will see you for the next one.